What's shaking, everyone? So I just wanted to introduce you to four of the brightest and greatest House representatives at the federal level that the United States has to offer. They're so nice, and they decided to nickname themselves the Squad. I'm sure you've probably heard of some of them, but I'll give you a nice little rundown of all four here. You've got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You've got Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, and Ilhan Omar. They have been declared as being the future of the Democratic Party, and they are all fiercely progressive, beat out long-term establishment Democrats in order to win their primaries and to win their seats in the House of Representatives. And I'm sure you've also heard the fact that at least three of them have committed ethics violations, and most of them have only been in the House for 2 years so far. So we're going to dig into that deeply here today. And before we get started, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to click on this video. I really appreciate everyone's support. And if there's a topic or anything that you'd like for me to discuss, or even just discuss this video down there in the comment section below, feel free to drop anything you'd absolutely like to down there. And while you're down there, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button or just clicking a like, man, it does a lot for the channel and it helps me grow and know what you guys like to hear discussed. So speaking of discussed, we've got the Squad out of the way. You know who they are. You should loathe who they are. They're the most vocal for. And when I was doing some research today, the big news story of the day is easily Project Veritas uncovers ballot harvesting fraud in Minnesota. And guess who it's linked to? Ilhan Omar, one of the most forefront members of the Squad. Let's just dig right into it. A ballot harvesting racket in a Democratic Rep. Ilhan Omar's Minneapolis district, where paid workers illegally gathering absentee ballots from elderly Somali immigrants, appears to have been busted by the undercover news organization Project Veritas, who has done a bunch of terrific work exposing the bias in Facebook, in YouTube. They were also instrumental in uncovering the corruption in the DNC and the 2016 election as well. Most of their stuff goes underreported, and I don't know why nobody else tries to keep it in the public consciousness, because it is all leftist scandals that deserve to be highlighted for a long period of time. But please do take some time to view some of the Project Veritas videos. They're all terrific. And what Miss Omar is caught up in right now is just part one of a several-part documentary exposing voter fraud via the mail-in ballot system that so many Democrats think is bulletproof and is easily their road to victory in the 2020 general. One alleged ballot harvester, Laban Mohammed, the brother of Minneapolis City Council member Jamal Osman, is shown in a bombshell Snapchat video rifling through piles of ballots strewn across his dashboard. Now, this was public before the Project Veritas video. This guy's just a complete fucking idiot and doesn't get it. Just today, we got 300 for Jamal Osman, says Muhammad, aka King Liban 1. In the video, I have 300 ballots in my car right now. Numbers don't lie. You can see my car is full. All of these are absentee ballots. Look. All these are for Jamal Osman, he said, displaying the white envelopes. Money is king in this world, and the campaign is driven by money. The video posted on July 1st. It's just been out there in the ether, but don't let the mainstream media know about that, because they're just going to tell you that, oh, guess what? There's no systemic problem with voter fraud. Yeah, there you go. Case in point. Anyways, Project Veritas and included the video in the 17-minute expose, the part one of a lengthy expose on, well, linking Ilhan Omar to voter fraud, plain and simple. Under Minnesota law, no individual can be designated agent for more than 3 absentee ballots. Well, I think 300 is a lot more than 3, but then again, I didn't get my calculus degree in college. I'm merely somebody who picks up heavy shit and puts it down. The allegations come just 5 weeks before the presidential election, plagued with predictions of voter fraud. Yes, exactly. You don't have to be Miss Cleo for that one. Both President Trump and Attorney General Bill Barr have warned that the increased use of mail-in ballots due to COVID-19 concerns, paranoia, whatever you want to call it, about in-person voting is vulnerable to fraud, especially when unsolicited ballots are mailed to all voters in certain states. And that's what that video documented. The alleged involvement of Omar, a controversial member of the Squad, and frequent Trump target is claimed on camera by two people in the Veritas investigation, including whistleblower Omar Jamal, a Minneapolis community leader and chair of the city's Somali watchdog group. He claims Mohammed is one of Omar's many people. It is an open secret she will do anything that she can do to get elected, and she has hundreds of people on the street doing just that, he told Veritas in an on-camera interview last Tuesday. It's not only her, it's all the DFL, Democratic Farmers Labor Machine, that's in the state of Minnesota. The regulations, if you ignore that and you let the corruption and fraud become a daily business, and then tough luck, your country will not exist as they know it. And that's the main crux of this video. Please do take the time, the 17 minutes. It's a compelling watch. Project Veritas is very good at doing these undercover exposés, and they are the last of a dying breed, to be completely honest. So please do support their work. And Ilhan Omar is just the latest in a long list of certain forms of corruption committed by the Squad. The only one who I couldn't find and is probably, well, at least isn't publicly guilty of anything, is Ayanna Pressley. So, hey, there's no evidence there, so I can't call her a fraud, but I can call her three friends criminals to a certain degree. How about the leader herself? Surprise, surprise, emerging campaign finance scandal reveals that self-righteous AOC isn't as clean as she says, and this is from March 4th, 2019. So this was just a little bit over a year in office for Miss Cortez. Let's take a look. Rookie U.S. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been dragged into an emerging campaign finance scandal that could potentially compromise her carefully crafted, I said crafted, I guess that's a Freudian slip, as the people's candidate, as well as call her political platform into question just 3 months after the 2018 midterm elections that saw her become the youngest ever female member of Congress. At the center of her scandal is her chief of staff, Sakrat Bacharati, who is accused of diverting more than $1 million in donations for her supporters into a slush fund controlled by two private companies registered to him, ostensibly for the purpose of obscuring what the money was used to do. And I remember this when it was first coming out, and she was not commenting on it. She was completely diverting away any sort of attention this story was getting. And of course, her entire platform was running on clean politics, just like it says in the next paragraph. She's one of these Justice Democrats. It's a term where it's supposed to be taking back the Democratic Party from the corporate establishment wings, the Nancy Pelosi side of things, and returning it back to the people. But as you can see, it looks like these, at least 3 of the 4 women are taking after their elder statesmen. And it's not just Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That is such a mouthful of nonsense to say. Ethics Committee finds Rashida Tlaib violations were bad timing, not ill intent. Thanks, Politico. We're gonna actually see what the fuck this bitch did. The House Ethics Committee found Rep. Rashida Tlaib from Michigan. They seem to have a problem with elected officials. Check out Gretchen Whitmer, who loves to kill the elderly. That fucking little Napoleon. Oh yeah, and also, what was her major thing coming out of in the spring there? You weren't even allowed to go outside because the COVID lockdowns were so severe in Michigan. And her excuse was, guess what? There's still snow on the ground, so what's the point of going outside anyways? That fucking little Napoleon complex she has. The committee concluded that receiving a portion of her salary from campaign funds following the 2018 general election ran afoul of the Federal Election Campaign Act, according to a report released Friday. But the committee noted that Tlaib's error was one of bad timing and not ill intent. Well, of course, and I can only speculate because the report is just so dense in legalese, she committed a crime. And because she's a part of this progressive squad, she is not charged fairly. If her name was Ryan Townsend from Michigan, he would have got slapped down and properly prosecuted. But no, she's a minority on several different levels, therefore will skate, just like AOC did with her campaign finance. You don't hear anything about that anymore. And as good of work as Project Veritas continues to do with this Minnesota ballot harvesting fraud, as well as all of their other great work, I fear that this is going to slip right under the rug. I feel that there's going to be no repercussions for what Omar's done, because if you take the time to read the rest of this article, or just watch the video, she's offering up $300 to people for their mail-in ballots. All of these women who claim to be wanting to get money out of politics sure do have a funny way of reinserting your money back into the hands of people they fleece with fear tactics, and it's all under the guise of wanting more power for longer, and they will do anything to get it. And those are the type of people who never deserve power, who never deserve to be an authoritative figure. I just wanted to give a quick update on this story because it is developing, and I want to categorize it video by video because I hope this becomes something major. And Trump has tweeted about it, of course, because there isn't a single thing that goes by that Trump does not tweet about. Anyways, guys, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I deeply appreciate every single one of you, and I've been Don Consuelo, and I want you guys to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.